really does.
We just can't quit talking. He's a popular life coach, and this morning he's our next guest for He Says, She Says. Sponsored by Blue Martini Lounge, your girls' night out destination. Please welcome Mr. Dougall Fraser. Dougall, good to see you.
I'm going to give the queer perspective, just so we're clear.
We like
It's not
that.
like a solid he said, you know, but whatever.
Yeah.
No, we're all good she. Why not?
She said, she said.
She said, she said, she
Perfect.
said.
Done. Oh,
Done.
New talk show at 3.
Love you. Oh, can we be best friends? Okay, so you're a life coach, so you're just about giving people great advice and how maybe they can make positive decisions
Absolutely.
in their life. And today we're going to talk about, I think, red flags in relationship. This is an article that came up in the Huffington Post, and it's the 10 behaviors to watch out for. And they all seem, ladies, pretty
Obvious.
clear. It's kind of like when you read that book, He's Just Not That Into You. It's like, well, if he's sleeping with somebody else, he doesn't like
You
you.
may not be into
Which is one of them.
Ding,
And
ding,
this is
ding.
one of them. So,
But only when drunk.
yes. So these are some
Is
red
that really?
I'm like, really?
Some red flags. He tells you you're fat. He ignores you. He yells at you. He sleeps around. He lies.
Oh
He's
my God.
abusive. But do you, as a life coach, what is your take on this? That are women so blind?
Well, I don't think
to
women
red
are blind.
flags?
I think a lot of women have this ability to see the potential in another individual,
Yeah,
and they
that's
want
true.
them to be the best that they can be. So when we're drunk in love, we make excuses in the beginning. He was busy, he couldn't text. Unless you're a surgeon or a pilot, you can respond to anything.
Or you're driving in Texas.
Exactly, or driving.
No, you
Right.
just said hello. Like Padilla. That is hello. Hello. I love that.
Hey, Dougall, I
Yeah.
just want to know, what makes you a life coach? How did you
I'm
get to
very
this
important.
point? You're very important.
Yeah, when I was born, heaven shook. No, so basically, I've been giving advice since the age of 16. I've never had a real job. I'm also a clairvoyant. I host a talk show. I'm an author. I write things. My thing is all about personal empowerment. You know, I've lost 100 pounds. I've been married for 10 years to my partner. So I try to empower people to be their best self, whether it's physical, spiritual, emotional, whatever it is. So basically, from hours and hours of counseling individuals, I've recognized certain patterns that repeat themselves, much like this article.
But like, are women so blind that we need a life coach to tell us if he's sleeping with someone else, he doesn't like you?
Yeah, I mean, a life coach helps hold yourself accountable. Well, when you come up with something and you're like, I'm going to sit down with my partner or spouse and we're going to have a real conversation, and then dinner happens and the kids happen and life happens and you get out of the way. A life coach holds you responsible. What are you trying to change in your life? So if you meet with them once a week, we say, are you following up on your goals? Or it's even like, having a physical trainer. If I go to the gym alone, I say I'm going to do 100 sit-ups, I do 3 and leave.
That's it. And I'll be honest with you, I've often had life coaches or
important.
mentors.
Yeah.
I mean, because you need somebody to kind of help you navigate
And to hold
through
you
life.
accountable, too.
Exactly.
I had a business coach, and she completely
business coach
changed
is great.
my life.
And the difference
Really?
from therapy is we don't go back and blame everything on mom or dad, even though we all know it's their fault.
It is. They screwed us all
But
up.
with life coaching, it's about what's the pattern that keeps repeating itself. So even with this, if you have relationships that aren't working over and over again, I say after the second time, you kind of have to look at why you're accepting that behavior.
Right.
We teach people how to treat us. So if I let you treat me like, nothing, that's my fault at some point.
So
I have to look at
boundaries
that.
are important.
Boundaries are huge. I'm the
Huge,
queen of boundaries.
Yeah, me too.
Does everybody need a life coach, even if you think you're okay?
I think it's important. I think it's nice to check in, see where you are, make sure that you're, goal-oriented. There's all different cost-effective ways that you can do it. You can do it on the internet. You can do it with a friend. There are mommy groups where you guys meet together and everybody talks about what their goals are. You follow up in the week before, after that, and I just think it's empowering.
And what do you do when you're coaching someone and you tell them over and over again what to do, but they don't listen?
I fire them.
I needed to hear that.
I'm not here for you to pay me to just whine and complain.
Right.
I'm not having fun if you're not changing your life.
You want to see growth.
I want to see growth. I want to see changes. That's what gets me inspired. And to be honest with you, I say this every time, all of my clients are my absolute best teachers. Whatever you're going through, I can learn from that. So that's why I like a circle like this. If we're honest, if we're candid about our struggles, what we're trying to change, that's how we reach our potential.
How about group? Do you like group, or should it be one-on-one?
I love a group. Nothing pleases me more. Can you tell I've had caffeine?
I just love you.
Stuart, let's bring him back.
I'm like, Can we go have coffee after this? And can you tell me what's wrong with me?
Is it always fun? Because if you're telling somebody to do something and they're not doing it, and
I believe a lot in humor.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
I like
Me
to make fun
too.
of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a 6'6" gay psychic, clairvoyant, and life coach. I mean, if I can't kid about that, I don't know what I can.
So you said that you've been married to your partner for 10 years, who's here today, and he's just
David.
adorable. So what is the key to that? How have y'all? I mean, because
Radical dialogue. We are honest about anything. If there is a fear, a concern, a worry, we talk about it. Whatever we want, we process it. We're honest with each other, and we encourage each other to be the
Communication,
best that we can
again.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
so do you hold him accountable?
Absolutely.
Does he hold you
accountable?
kidding?
Who's your there he is. He's like, no. Who's your life coach?
That's a good question. You know, I have friends that I go to. I haven't seen a professional life coach in a while, but a lot of us in the business, we kind of help each other out and give each other
Really?
inspiration. Yeah, a lot of my friends and colleagues.
Do you trade services?
We trade services.
Smart.
Drinks
Told you we're
later.
there.
Such a good deal. Thank you. Dougall will be back with us later in the show to talk more in depth about what he does. I want to hear.
I do